One obvious way to find median is, locate the n by 2 value on the graph, and then draw two perpendiculars, one to x-axis, and the other to y-axis respectively. The point on the x-axis, where the perpendicular meets, will be the median of the given data, from the OGIV curve. As the number of students are 53, that is, n equals 53. Therefore n by 2 equals 53 by 2. This is equal to 26.5. From this point, on the y-axis draw a line parallel to the x-axis, cuts the curve at a point. From this point, draw a perpendicular to the x-axis. The point of intersection of this perpendicular with the x-axis determines the median of the data. Here from the above graph, the median is 66.4. Let us see an alternate method to find the median using the OGIV curves. Alternate method. Draw both OGIVs, that is, of the less than type, and of the more than type on the same axis. The two OGIVs will intersect each other at a point. From this point, if we draw a perpendicular on the x-axis, the point at which it cuts the x-axis gives us the median. Therefore, the median is 66.4. Example 4, the annual profits earned by 30 shops of a shopping complex in a locality give rise to the following distribution. Draw both OGIVs for the data above, and hence obtain the median profit. Solution. More than type. The class intervals, profit, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 are lower limits. The cumulative frequencies are 30, 28, 16, 14, 10, 7, 3. We mark the lower limits of the class intervals on the horizontal axis, that is, x-axis, and their corresponding cumulative frequencies on the vertical axis, that is, y-axis. The ordered pairs formed by the upper class limits and the class frequencies are as follows: 5, 30, 10, 28, 15, 16, 20, 14, 25, 10, 30, 7, 35, 3. Let us now plot the points. 5, 30, 10, 28, 15, 16, 20, 14, 25, 10, 30, 7, 35, 3. On graph. Let us join all the points by a freehand. All these points represents a curve. This curve is called a cumulative frequency curve, or an OGIV, of the greater than type. Less than type. Now, let us obtain the classes, their frequencies, and the cumulative frequency, for the less than type from the given table. Here, the number of shops, that is, their frequencies for less than type are obtained, by subtracting the current frequency, from the next frequency. For the class interval, less than 10, we get the frequency as 2, since 30 minus 28 equals 2. For the class interval, less than 15, we get the frequency as 12, since 28 minus 16 equals 2. For the class interval, less than 20, we get the frequency as 2, since 16 minus 14 equals 2. For the class interval, less than 25, we get the frequency as 4, since 14 minus 10 equals 4. For the class interval, less than 30, we get the frequency as 3, since 10 minus 7 equals 3. For the class interval, less than 35, we get the frequency as 4, since 7 minus 3 equals 4. For the class interval, less than 40, we get the frequency as 3. Now let us find the cumulative frequency for the less than type. And then, we obtain the cumulative frequency for each less than type interval. For the class interval less than 10, the frequency is 2, then the cumulative frequency is 2. For the class interval less than 15, the frequency is 12, then the cumulative frequency is 14, since 2 plus 12 equals 14. For the class interval less than 20, the frequency is 2, then the cumulative frequency is 16, since 14 plus 2 equals 16. For the class interval less than 25, the frequency is 4, then the cumulative frequency is 20, since 16 plus 4 equals 20. For the class interval less than 30, the frequency is 3, then the cumulative frequency is 23, since 20 plus 3 equals 23. For the class interval less than 35, the frequency is 4, then the cumulative frequency is 27, since 23 plus 4 equals 27. For the class interval less than 40, the frequency is 3, then the cumulative frequency is 30, since 27 plus 3 equals 30. The class intervals, profit, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, are the upper limits. The cumulative frequencies are 2, 14, 16, 20, 23, 27, 30. We mark the upper limits of the class intervals on the horizontal axis, that is, x-axis, and their corresponding cumulative frequencies on the vertical axis, that is, y-axis. The ordered pairs formed by the upper class limits and the class frequencies are as follows: 10, 2, 15, 14, 20, 16, 25, 20, 30, 23, 35, 27, 40, 30. Let us now plot the points 10, 2, 15, 14, 20, 16, 25, 20, 30, 23, 35, 27, 40, 30 on graph. Now let us join all the points by a freehand. All these points represents a curve, and this curve is called a cumulative frequency curve, or an ogive, of the lesson type. Now let us draw both ogives, that is, of the less than type, and of the more than type, on the same axis. We observe that the two ogives intersects each other at a point. From this point, if we draw a perpendicular to the x-axis, the point at which it cuts the x-axis gives us the median. Therefore, median profit is 17.5 lakhs.